Hey friends, Pastor David here with this week's Midweek Minute. So we talked this past weekend a little bit about the book of James from the second chapter. And in that second chapter, James talks about mercy that triumphs over judgment. We spent a little time talking about the fact that in the culture that we're in today, both outside of the church and inside of the church, we are struggling with the business of who's right and who's wrong. And it's not that there aren't right things and wrong things when it comes to the pattern that God has set for us. But it's the fact that we end up getting caught up in those things. And what Jesus wants us to do, what James encourages us to do, is to remember that as we have received mercy, we are to give mercy. That the fact that we are all tattered and torn in some way or another and stand in the need of the mercy that Jesus Christ gives, that should be the thing that binds us together. We're free to have differing opinions, certainly, but what ought to bind us together is the reality that all of us are sinners. All of us stand in need of the forgiveness and the mercy and grace that Jesus Christ provides, whatever position we may take on certain things. That's what makes us brothers and sisters, that mercy triumphs over judgment. And my challenge to you this week was to intentionally find some time to be quiet and engage God. Because when it comes to receiving the mercy that Jesus has to give us, that has to be something that each of us does ourselves. Each of us has to engage God for ourselves, for where we are. And when we do that, when we take the time to do that, we discover that God engages us, wants to talk to us, wants to offer us His mercy, and then wants to use us to extend that mercy into the lives of other people. So I'm just going to come back to that, consistently find some time in the course of your day. As I said, it doesn't have to be an hour. Just find 5 minutes where you can just sit and be quiet and allow God to engage you. Circle the places where you're tattered and torn and offer the mercy and the grace that He longs to give us. And then say, God, here I am. Help me to be merciful as I have received mercy. This coming weekend, we're going to come back to Mark's gospel. And in that particular place where we're going to visit, Jesus begins to talk to His disciples about the end of His life, about what's going to happen to Him. And that really causes Peter to react in some ways that aren't really what Jesus is looking for. We'll talk about that this coming weekend. I hope you can join us, be it online or be it in one of our services in person. And until then, remember, keep looking up, and I'll see you later.